just want to show you something really quick. This is what's being fed to the cult.
People that are dedicating themselves, and the establishment on both parties got to understand something. They're not backing off.
No, they're not.
The country is 2/3 MAGA, at least, I think 75%. And it was providential. We won in 16. Right? I was there. Divine providence. And Trump's the instrument.
Hi, it's Alonzo Bodden with another Rebel HQ TYT video, and today we're going to talk about Steve Bannon and math. That's right, we're going to talk math with Steve Bannon. Why would we do that? The man was just arrested for fraud. Maybe math and numbers isn't his strong point. Well, MAGA is, and that's what he's talking about. He claims that the country is 2/3, maybe even 75% MAGA. Well, it's not. But you know what? When you have a group of people who don't believe in science, why would they bother with math? Now, here's the thing that's really funny. He talked about the last two presidential elections. Well, you know who got the most votes in the last two presidential elections? The Democrat. That's right. Hillary got more votes than Trump. Trump won because of the Electoral College, a system that is utterly ridiculous and needs to be done away with. And by the way, the Republicans would do away with it if ever they had the majority vote and lost an election. But they never get the majority vote. So what happened in 2020? Well, Biden won. And you know what? The Democrats came out not with just a majority vote, but enough votes to, how'd you say it, Steve? Close the deal, which led to your insurrection and attacking the Capitol. But we are not talking about that.
It was divine providence that they stole it. Because we won it and they stole it. One, we now understand you have to win, but you have to close the deal. We have a unique chance to destroy the Democratic Party as a national political institution. You're seeing now these insurgent, MAGA is ascendant. Because people are reinforced that we can win. We can have the Kerry Lakes and the Finchams win. Right?
So where are we at right now, Steve? Well, let's look at some actual numbers. Now, I know being MAGA, you don't like actual numbers and you're mad at Joe Biden. And this is usually when you change the argument to something about extremists or Blue Lives Matter. You know how you guys do. But we're going to stick with the numbers here. Because, Steve, you briefly held the lead. That's right. At the fourth quarter of 2021, unusually, the Republicans had the lead. They were up 47% to 42%, according to a Gallup poll. And the way they do this poll is they check who's Democrat, who's Republican, who's independent. And usually the majority is independent. And then they go to the independents and they say, are you leaning Republican or are you leaning Democrat? If you remember the fourth quarter of 2021, Joe Biden wasn't doing too well. People were mad at him. Prices were going up. And who knows what else was going on. So people were leaning Republican, and you had the lead, 47 to 42. Now, in the beginning of 2021, you know, January, when you guys had the insurgency, yeah, that's when the Democrats were up 49-40. But what's happened since then?
People that win, we want investigations, we want litigation, we want incarceration, we want to take this thing back. Every day in this new Congress is going to be Stalingrad. There's not going to be a civil war. We're going to win with 2/3 of the votes, okay? And then they're going to have to deal with it.
Yep.
So, Steve, you guys blew it. I guess you're taking a note from the Democrats, and you're actually trying to lose from the front. Because going into the midterms, it's now 44% Democrat versus 42% Republican. And as a matter of fact, the only group you're really leading in is white voters. With white voters, you have 51% said they vote Republican, 38% Democrat. Then again, with black voters, not doing too well, Steve. 70% of black voters are going Democrat. Asian voters, 2-1, 57% Democrat, 26% Republican. Hispanic voters, Democrats are up by 25 percentage points. You're also leading in the older voters. You are kind of leading with the over 50 demographic, 47%, 47% Republican, 42%. So, in other words, you're losing in every group except angry white men like yourself. 2/3, Steve? Not even close. But I do admire your math. Is this the same math you used to steal money? Okay, enough of the numbers. You really can't trust the polls. I don't trust the polls because I think most Trump supporters, or at least a lot of them, don't admit they're Trump supporters. So you never know how it's going to go. The numbers are within statistical error. But I will say this, Steve. I don't think 2/3 of the Republican Party is MAGA. Let's ask Mitch McConnell about that. Or ask Sarah Palin, who lost in Alaska. That's right. Alaska was nailing Palin. She didn't make it. And let's look at Kansas and the other states that had various abortion bills on their ballots. And the hope to ban abortion was voted down over and over. No, this isn't working for you. And as far as divinely inspired, Steve, do you really think Jesus would be a Republican? Really? You think the immigrant who was homeless for a while and helped the sick and the poor would go with you guys who voted directly against helping the sick and the poor, instead wanted to help the rich? No, I don't think there was any divinity involved. As a matter of fact, Steve, I think you guys better hope Jesus doesn't come back, because if he does, you got a lot of explaining to do. Starting with what you do with all that money to build a wall that Jesus never would have built. Good luck with that, Steve. 2/3? I don't think so.